Read over 50 books on money, business and success, but if I could only recommend one to you, it would be Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Yeah, it's old school, but if you apply what it teaches, it can absolutely transform your life. And it did for me. My business went from 0 to 8 figures, and a lot of that has to do with what I learned in these pages. See, the book isn't just a bunch of ideas, it's a playbook. Napoleon Hill spent 20 years studying the habits of 500 of the most successful people of the time, and what he found changed how I see money, success, and honestly, how I live. See, I was 24 years old, I was struggling with depression, and books helped me climb out of that darkness. The first one I picked up was Rich Dad Poor Dad, and I was hooked. I read it 3 times, I even copied the whole thing down into my own words, and I ended up with about 70 pages of notes. But when I finished, I wanted more. And in the back of the book, Robert Kiyosaki, the author of Rich Dad Poor Dad, listed his top recommended reads. One title out of the 30 really stood out to me. Think and Grow Rich. I thought to myself, think and grow rich? You have to work to get rich. But something in me was curious, so I bought it. And that was about 15 years ago. And I've read it over 30 times since. I've even bought extra copies to give to my team at work or anyone who's interested. You see, this isn't just a book you read once, it's one you return to, it's one you come back to, it's one that you treat like a Bible. Because every time you read and understand things differently, because you are in a different place whenever you come back to it. And if you don't have the space for that right now, I'm about to break down the 3 most powerful principles in Think and Grow Rich and show you how I've actually applied them to prove that they work. And if you stick around until the end, I'll also reveal the one secret hidden inside the book that most people completely miss. Everything worth doing starts with a burning desire and a definite goal. This is the absolute foundation of the book, but it's also the step that most people skip. Your mind will tell you, I'm clear on what I want, I just need to take action. But 9 times out of 10, you're not, because you haven't written it down. You haven't made it real, you haven't brought it to life. Now, this doesn't have to take long. It looks like this. Number 1, write down one very specific visionary goal, not something vague. Your goal needs to be specific, concise, measurable, and it has to include an end step. And for the secret sauce, take a mental picture of what achieving that goal looks like, define it visually, so clearly that you can see it in your mind's eye. That is your end step. And keep visualizing until you believe it has already happened. You see, this is where the magic happens. Because once your desire is specific, visual, and you've wrapped it with emotion, and that emotion comes from being grateful that it's been achieved, you've heightened your mental faculties and given your heart and mind a target infused with feeling. Here's mine, for example. It is now December 2030. My circle of influence reaches over 10 million people and my business generates millions of pounds that contributes to educating people and regenerating the earth. I see myself in the boardroom of my head office and I'm sitting back in my office chair with closed eyes, and in my mind's eye I can see the hundreds of people I'm actively mentoring as part of my entrepreneurial mastermind. My executive team are around me in the head office too. That's mine. And now what I want you to do, which is what I do, is read it aloud to yourself every morning when you wake up and again right before you fall asleep. Have it as your phone's background or your computer's background. Put a sticky note on your mirror. Whatever you need to do to remember to visualize it constantly. How can you stay on path if you forget where you're going? Because this repetition that becomes a daily habit, this keeps your burning desire alive. You start to make it real within you before you start to make it real outside of yourself. And there's a reason that I recommend visualizing it at those exact times. There's science behind it. You see, your subconscious mind is more open, you're more impressionable first thing in the morning, right upon waking, and last thing before you sleep. That's when your brain waves slow down to the alpha, that programmable state. And this is when information sinks into the subconscious. And that's when you need to build your being around your future success and start getting excited about what is to come and grateful for what is to come. That's the magic key. If desire is the spark, then faith is the fuel that keeps you going. You see, once you've defined your goal, you have to now believe that it's already happened. I'll say that again. You have to now believe that it's already happened. And that sounds insane, right? But that belief, and that turns into gratitude for what's to come, that it's already happened, shifts your psychology and physiology to the point where you now become sharper, more focused and happier in the moment. The science of it shows that this positive psychology physically changes your brain. It is more heightened in the present moment. It's more aware, it's more sharp, it can remember things better. And this changes how you behave and your results. It's the same concept as becoming financially literate before you become wealthy. You see, if you can't make £3,000 work for you, then you have no idea how to handle 10,000 or 100,000. This shift is what separates wishful thinkers to people with conviction around their future. Conviction, not wishful thinking, creates actual results. Based on this belief that you now harbour, you make it a lot easier to adopt the upgraded identity for yourself that matches up with your vision, to then become the person in time. So how do you do it? Number one, pick a quiet spot in your house, somewhere you can come back to every morning, every night. That's your visualization spot. Number two, picture your visual goal so vividly that it almost feels real, that you can see it. What does it feel like to have it? Where are you? What are you doing? Who are you with? Once you can see it and feel it, ask yourself, if this was already mine, how would I act today? And number four, start to act like it each and every day. That's the shift. When you change and move differently, you attract different things, different people, different places, different opportunities. This raises your standards, and raising your standards will elevate your life. And that is how you truly manifest. Not just by thinking, but by embodying what it is that you're asking for. Remember, like attracts like. And you don't get what you want, you get what you are. So who are you and who are you becoming? You may not know it yet, but your subconscious mind is always listening. The only question I have for you then is, what are you feeding it? What are you allowing in? What are you consuming? This is where the third most powerful principle of Think and Grow Rich comes in: auto-suggestion. You know, when you watch an interview with someone famous or someone successful, an athlete or an actor, and they're asked how they got to where they are, they credit their intense levels of self-confidence, a level of self-belief. You could even consider them to the point of being delusional. That's the power of auto-suggestion in action. You see, most of us spend our lives reinforcing the wrong things, the past, the mistakes, doubt, our fears, and we replay these negative thought patterns on a loop and wonder why we can't move past them. But successful people, they learn to do the opposite. They spend time, they spend energy reprogramming their subconscious mind with beliefs, with certainty, with a clear vision. Here's how you can apply auto-suggestion for yourself. Number one, write down 3 I am affirmations that are tied directly to your goal. These aren't vague, feel-good statements. They're super specific. And look, you don't even need to come up with one. You can copy mine, for an example. I'm a business master. I've built a company that generates over £1 million per year, and we help thousands of people buy, insert your unique solution, whatever that is, X, Y, Z. Now 2, say your I ams out loud to yourself every day. First thing in the morning and last thing before bed. You may have noticed a repetition. It's the key to all of this sticking and being part of your being, embodying it. Because over time, these words will start to trigger emotion in you. And you'll know when it's working because it will start to feel real. You'll catch yourself smiling, like this thing happens whilst you're visualizing. And this is you triggering emotions. And these emotions, your emotions, are really, really powerful. That is the start of your reprogramming. And eventually though, this will go deeper. And you need to be ready for it. Because the affirmations won't just feel possible, they'll feel inevitable. And when that happens, you'll start to feel grateful. You'll start to feel gratitude for what's to come. This is the miracle. You see, when most people aren't even grateful for the things that they have, you become grateful for the things you haven't even received yet. That's when faith turns into knowing. And knowing is more powerful than hope. Knowing is what will keep you going when things get tough. And I can guarantee you they're gonna get tough. If this has resonated with you so far, then I think you're gonna like the bonus point of this. So stay tuned. Specialized knowledge is more powerful than general knowledge. Napoleon Hill says the person who stops studying merely because he's finished school is forever hopelessly doomed to mediocrity, no matter what may be his calling. And he's right. I don't know the exact figure, but it's something like 70% of university graduates end up in careers that are unrelated to their degrees. And then they stop learning entirely. They think my education is over and it's all about the real world and finding success. But real success is found in ongoing education. It's personal, it's purpose driven, it's aligned to your career, it's aligned to your life. So here's the idea that helped me compound everything from the book. Take your number one goal and then study only what helps you achieve that goal. Stop reading random stuff or filling your head with too many ideas. Learn in complete alignment with where it is you're trying to go. Now, before we wrap up, I want to leave you with something that still gives me chills when I think about it. This is the most powerful part of the book. He didn't just write a book, Napoleon Hill. He hid a secret inside of it. And he says right at the start of Think and Grow Rich, somewhere as you read, the secret to which I refer to will jump from the page and stand boldly before you. If you're ready for it, when it appears, you'll recognize it. Whether you receive the sign in the first or the last chapter, stop for a moment when it presents itself and turn down a glass, for that occasion marks the most important turning point for your life. He never tells you what it is, he just weaves this secret through the book. It could be there over 100 times, and you're meant to discover it for yourself, not because someone told you about it, but because you're finally ready to see it. It's like a shift in consciousness. Now, here's the interesting part. Every time I've reread the book over the past 15 years, which I do, a different idea has stood out, which has solidified that secret. A different idea has hit me in a new way. And maybe that's the point. Because the real power of this book isn't that it gives you the tactics to go out and use it. It continuously shifts how you think and how you upgrade your mindset around success. So I'm going to give you a challenge, and my challenge to you are these. Read the book, come back to this video, and drop a comment telling me what you think the secret is. Let's see how many different answers we can get. And remember, if you're truly serious about growth, you can't do it alone. You need to be around like-minded people, people who raise your standards, who challenge your thinking and hold you to your word. Whether that's a coach, a community, or even a tight circle of peers, you will either rise or fall to the level of people around you. For a list of actions from this video, check the pinned comment, then leave a comment with what you think the secret is, or add your end step. Make it real, and I'll hold you accountable. Until next time.